Anja from Cooking with Plants, and today I'm making some Christmas candy cane chocolate brownies. So let's get started. First of all, you're going to need a bowl and some medjool dates. So what I've done, I've put 20 pitted medjool dates into my bowl, and I've poured over the juice of 1 whole lemon and also added enough water just to cover all of the dates in the bowl. Then they need to sit for about an hour, or you could even leave it overnight if you wanted to. Once your dates have soaked for at least an hour, get yourself a slotted spoon and also have a blender on hand and just drain them from the liquid and put them into your blender. Next, you want to add half a cup of the soaking liquid that you have left, and any extra you can just put into a screw top jar and leave it in the fridge, and you can use that in smoothies or on oats and porridge or anything else where you want some sweetened water. Next, add half a cup of maple syrup, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, and 1.5 teaspoons of coarse Celtic sea salt. And then give this a good blend up for about a minute or two until it's nice and smooth. So now that your wet mixture is all blended up, it's time to get yourself a clean mixing bowl and add in 1.5 cups of whole wheat flour, or wholemeal flour as we call it in Australia, half a cup of cocoa powder or cacao powder, and 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And give this a good mix through so all of these dry ingredients are really well blended together. And now it's a good time to preheat your oven to 175 degrees Celsius or approximately 350 degrees Fahrenheit. So now I'm going to line a 20 by 20 centimetre or 8 by 8 inch square baking dish with some non-stick parchment paper. And what I've done is actually given that a quick wet down, just so it's really easy and pliable, and it fits in really well on the edges. All right, so I'm just going to set that aside, ready for my final mixture. And to the dry mixture, I'm going to add in half a cup of plant-based milk. So you could use soy milk or almond milk, oat milk, even some coconut milk would be really nice. And then adding in the blended mixture as well. And then mix your wet and dry ingredients together really well. I like to use a silicone spatula for this. It's just really easy to mix it all through and get all the bits off the edges. And just make sure that you get all of that flour mixed through and that there's none stuck on the bottom. That already smells delicious and it hasn't even cooked yet. So this is all really well mixed through, and it's time to pour it into the pan. And remember, you can print all of my recipes off my website at cookingwithplants.com, so I'll have a link for this whole recipe below in the description. I'm just going to put a tea towel under this for a second and just give it a couple of knockdowns just to get any air bubbles out of there and just to flatten it out nicely. And then this is ready to go in the oven for 45 minutes. So after 45 minutes, put in a skewer or a toothpick just to check that it's cooked through and it comes out clean, and then just let it cool in the fridge. So once you've let your brownie cool down in the fridge, I actually let mine sit overnight so it really firms up well. Remove it from your non-stick parchment paper and onto a cutting board. And what I've got is just a little round cookie cutter, and you can make these any size that you like. So, and just start cutting out some nice little round shapes. So once you've cut your brownies to size, you can use any leftovers for a nice little trifle, or you could just crumble it over some breakfast cereal if you like to make it super decadent. Or you could even just break it all down, maybe even use a food processor just to break it down a little bit and roll it into some bliss balls as well. So a few options there for those leftovers. So for the topping, I'm going to make a coconut whipped cream. So what I've done is put a tin of coconut cream into the fridge for a few hours and until it's really cold. So that will separate the solids from the liquids, and the liquid will actually be on the bottom of your tin. So turn it over and open it up. And as you can see, all the liquid is now on top of this, so I'll just pour it into a container. Oops. Pour most of it off. And then the solid part is going into another container for whipping. So to this coconut cream you can add any sweeteners that you like, keeping in mind that if you add coconut sugar, etc., it will make it a darker colour. So keep that in mind and maybe use some raw sugar if you prefer. I'm putting in about 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and I'm actually not going to sweeten mine today because I will be putting candy canes on top. So this is exactly how I'll leave it, a vanilla whipped cream, and just whip it up until it's nice and fluffy. So my whipped cream didn't actually set as much as I would have liked. It just depends on how humid it is, or also the types and the brands of coconut can make a difference. So it's really, really humid where I am today, so that's why it's just not setting. So depending on if it goes thicker or not, you can pipe that onto your little brownies, or I'm going to do something a little bit different now and just pour it over the top. So place these onto a nice Christmassy platter. I've got a nice red coloured one here. And I'm just going to leave 2 extras just so I can taste. Okay, so I'm just going to use this coconut cream that I made and just drizzle some on top of each of these. Now if you don't like coconut cream or you don't want the added fat, you can just leave this off totally. Or you could even use a cashew cream as well. Okay, and then what I've done with the candy canes, I've just put them into a small blender and just given them a bit of a blitz up just to break them up into small pieces. But you could also put them into a Ziploc bag and just use a rolling pin or a hammer to break those up. And again, if it's humid where you're living, maybe put your candy canes into the fridge just to keep them cool and firm. And then all you need to do is sprinkle this over the top. And they're done. I'll just put some onto my little taste test piece. Give it a try. Oh, yum, these are so good. Oh, it's a good thing that it's not Christmas every day. Oh wow, these are so decadent. Rich, sweet, chocolatey. Just so many flavours going on. Delicious, yum. Give these a try. Let me know what you think. Remember, you can print them off my website at cookingwithplants.com. Oh, they're so good. Let me know what you think if you do give them a try. And remember, if you have any photos of what you make, post them on my Facebook page at Cooking with Plants or on my Instagram. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please do, because I put out 2 new recipes every week and I look forward to sharing the next one with you. Bye for now.